got a 100-year-old legacy. So what is Hamdard mean?
Hamdard means compassion, somebody who has compassion. And that I think stems from the whole ethos of the company.
Right.
It's always been about the masses, about charity, about CSR. And today when all the companies talk about corporate social responsibility being 2% of the turnover,
Right.
we've been doing it for ages.
Absolutely. So what's your brand vision?
See, there are two things. One, obviously, the mother brand Hamdard.
Right.
That evokes a lot of trust. So if you ask anyone today, any man on the street or any consumer, what does Hamdard mean to you? So
Right.
the first thing that comes to them is that it's a very trusted brand.
Absolutely.
All their products are very trusted.
Sure.
So that's the first thing that comes. So we need to build it.
Right.
So what we do is that the brand Hamdard, we do a lot of brand building. So we will do corporate TVCs.
Right.
But then when you come down to the specific brands that we work
Sure.
on, each brand has an identity.
Right.
And each brand has a separate journey and a vision.
Absolutely.
So Rooh Afza, I talked
Right.
to you about the journey and
Sure.
we can talk about it more in detail.
Right.
Then we have other brands like Safi and we have Ruben Bagram, which is Hamdard. Then you have a separate division for the medicines.
Sure.
So we are working on each and every brand
Right.
and taking it to its own journey.
Excellent. Sure. Well, so you've launched Fusion, the blend of fruit juices and the original, which is retaining the original taste. So what made you launch this?
So a lot of thought went behind it.
Right.
So 2 years back when we sat and we were analyzing the brands, we figured out that Rooh Afza obviously has a lot of strengths. It has a lot of loyalty, heritage behind the brand.
Right.
But then I don't think that any brand can sit on its laurels and think, okay, I'm the market leader and just keep sitting on it.
Change along
Yes. So we started to see what were the three things required.
Sure.
So the first thing that came out was that probably today in the 12 to 15, 18-year-old
Right.
youth,
The youth.
it was slowly losing relevance.
Absolutely.
In the sense that if you went home, probably your mom gave it to you or your nanny or mother gave it to you,
Right.
you liked it. But you were not reaching out.
Absolutely.
And it was not a very cool thing to have. You
Sure.
wouldn't go out in your school and say, Rooh Afza is a cool thing to have. So you wanted to make it more aspirational
Okay.
for the young.
Ready to
Yeah. So
consume.
then we said that yes, the youth is a new consumer base that we need to attract. So how do you?
Right.
So then we said that what is the youth doing? So they want convenience. They
Sure.
want on-the-go consumption. They want something which is aspirational.
Sure.
They want something which is cool.
Absolutely.
So that they talk about it and
Right.
they talk about it with their friends. So that's when this whole idea. Then what we did was that we looked at the market.
Sure.
Now the market in the whole beverages segment, carbonated is going around, natural fruit juices are going up.
Health
It's a market
conscious,
category,
yes.
people are health conscious, moving away from chemicals.
Sure.
So this is this environment.
Right.
Then we said, where do we fit in? And we said, okay, the juice category looks exciting
Sure.
because Rooh Afza is very complementary with fruit juice.
Absolutely.
In any case, Rooh Afza has fruit juices inside it, in any case.
Right. There's a lot of synergy to the whole thing. Yes.
So we said, okay, the fruit juice market is big, it's growing well, and I think it's good for us. So we then said, develop the flavors.
Sure.
So these 5 are what we see right now, but there are a lot more in the pipeline which is to come.
Okay.
And then we spent about 2 years on massive R&D because it's a very unique blend.
Absolutely.
So the Rooh Afza and then the fruit juice in the right concentration, being able to balance both the taste
And the herbs.
and the herbs.
Yes.
So when you had it right now, you would have felt a taste of
Sure.
both.
Yes, absolutely.
That's important. So then we developed this, and finally we got it to a shape, and we did a test production
Okay.
in September last
Right.
year,
Sure.
where we said that we don't claim to be, know it all, and going out in the market and saying,
Sure.
look, I know how to do it, because everything is wrong.
Absolutely.
So we said we'll pick 2 states, and
Okay.
we'll go and do a test production
Sure.
and see how it works, and there are a lot of learnings to
Right.
come. So it was in a different packaging.
Okay.
It was more graphic.
Okay.
And the taste was also a little different.
Right.
So we went there and we launched in about 30,000 outlets.
Okay.
And we took feedback from about 50,000 people.
So what were the findings?
Yeah, so they came back to us and said mostly the taste was fine.
Sure.
Some 10% variation, which you know.
Okay. Improved.
The big change we did was in the packaging.
Okay.
So the consumer.
It's very appealing.
Yeah, so that time they said it's very important for you to communicate your concept on the package.
Sure. Sure.
Today when you see it, it's
Right.
like a big Rooh Afza splash.
Right.
It's the fruit
Yeah.
and it says fusion.
Yeah.
So you
So all are blended
you don't need
together.
to explain to anyone.
Self-explanatory. Right.
And it's also nice and bright and vibrant.
Right.
So we did this packaging. And now we're ready to launch nationally.
So what's your marketing plan?
See,
360.
Yeah. So, 2-3 things. To me, if somebody asks me, do you have a value turnover target for this? Today, I would say no.
Sure.
Obviously, ultimately, I will.
Sure.
Today, to me, I think the most important objective is to get to as many new consumers as possible.
Absolutely. Right.
So, one of the biggest areas where I'm going to spend money on this
Right.
brand is to get as many people to try it.
Okay.
So, I'm going to do free sample.
Excellent.
So in the modern trade, in residential areas,
Sure.
in market areas, you will see Rooh Afza fusion kiosks.
Okay.
And somebody can go there and there'll be a nice interesting game that they will play on a tablet. And if they win the game, they get a Rooh Afza fusion free.
Sure.
So what we're doing is we're engaging them.
Absolutely.
He's enjoying playing that game, he gets a nice gift, it's hot.
Right.
He has
It's
a
very
chilled
refreshing.
fusion.
Yeah.
You would have felt the refreshment.
Right.
So that's when the person gets excited
Okay.
and goes and buys it.
Right.
So you're inducing trials and you're converting people.
Sure.
So that's going to be the big strategy.
Sure.
Secondly, I want to reach as many outlets as possible.
Right.
Because this is a mass distribution product.
Absolutely.
Now that doesn't mean that I will not look at other channels because
Right.
modern trade is also equal.
Yes.
So we will do modern trade, general trade.
Yes.
There are certain outlets in the market called Pan Plus.
Okay.
These are outlets where there's a pan guy and he's sitting with a fridge.
Right.
So all these convenience products sell a
Right.
lot there.
Right.
Small biscuits, namkeens,
Sure.
Tetra Pak.
Right.
So that's a big channel.
So what technique are you going to use there to?
So
Make sure they're
we've been
replenished.
training our sales force for the past 6 months.
Okay.
So we listed all these outlets.
Sure.
We put them into our lead plans.
Okay.
We put it on our system so that
Right.
it can be tracked live through technology.
Okay.
And today when people are going into the market, they have a specific peak plan with the shopkeepers.
Okay.
They have an objective of how much has to be sold into each shop
Okay.
and where they need to put up displays.
So deep penetration.
Yeah, yeah. So it's all planned.
Okay. How about your digital plan?
So this one is going to be big on digital. Because
Okay.
obviously it's with the youth.
Right.
And we would probably be on all platforms.
Okay.
And we will be on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and everything.
All right.
And we just had a digital agency here who works with us very closely.
Excellent.
So that is going to be a lot of investment.
Okay. And what are your targets for the?
See, targets, as I told you, in terms of volume, we'll be looking at about 6-7 million units.
Okay.
60-70 lakh.
Okay.
But again, you see, we think a little differently.
Right.
We don't make a target and then do things to achieve that. We
Right.
first take the basic logic.
Right.
We say we need to reach so many shops. You
Absolutely.
sell in so much.
Sure.
You get so many consumers.
Right.
And then eventually when you do all that, you reach an extra.
Right.
So it's about building a brand from the bottom rather
Right.
than doing it from the top. So
Right.
that's how we think differently.
So there are a lot of Me Too products. So how are you going to, show the differentiation in the communication?
See, Me Too products exist in the sense that yes, there are a lot of Tetra Paks, there are a lot of fruit juices. But the big thing is that we are not selling juice.
Right.
We are not here saying, I'm another lime, I'm another lemon,
Right.
I'm another orange.
Right.
There are loads of those things.
Yes.
The big differentiation is in the product itself.
Right.
Because
Sure.
nobody else can offer a Rooh Afza and a fruit juice. Because Rooh Afza can do it.
Right.
So it all depends on how well I communicate this to the consumer.
You're planning a TVC?
Yes, yes. First week of May we'll do TVC, we'll do digital, we'll do radio, print, outdoor, everything.
Okay.
So people will have to understand that
Right.
this is a completely differentiated product.
Right.
So
And you exporting this as well?
not right now. This is
You're planning
for the
to
domestic
export.
market right now.
Okay.
And we'll probably look at export once I set up my domestic.
Okay. And what are your CSR activities?
So CSR is big for us. We own, so you should know that we donate a significant chunk of our profits to CSR.
Okay.
So we have a separate body called
Okay.
Hamdard National Foundation,
Okay.
which is a non-profit.
Right.
So Hamdard, the company, which is the business company, Hamdard Laboratories,
Sure.
picks up a certain chunk of their profit and every year transfers it to HNF,
Okay.
National Foundation,
Sure.
and they run the CSR activities.
Okay.
So we've got a big university in Delhi, it's called Jamia Hamdard University,
Right.
where all courses are there,
Okay.
including engineering, medicine, MBA.
Very nice.
We have a lot of hospitals.
Okay.
We do a lot of work for education, health services, etc.
Okay.
And that's where the funding happens. We're all self-funded through the through our business.
Okay.
So it's a very different business model from other companies.
Okay.
People today are fighting for a 2%.
Sure.
So we do it differently. So that is a good thing, but the stressful thing for a marketer like me is that there is stress on the kind of monies that I have to spend. Because so much out of my profit is going into CSR.
Right.
So we need to be very careful in terms of that.
So what are any challenges? What are the challenges?
Any challenge with building a new brand is that you don't have sales, but you have to spend.
Absolutely.
So you need to do it wisely. You
Sure.
need to do it carefully. So that's what we are doing right now. But I'm not going to compromise on this brand. It needs all the support from the bank that's required. So we'll do it.
Great. And what are your future plans now?
On.
Fusion, what next?
So
with
Fusion, what is going to happen is that next year we will do more states.
Okay.
By next year we will look at more variants.
Okay.
Yeah, because more variants are in the
Sure.
market. And we will probably look at getting out of 1 liter pack.
All right. All right. Thank you so much for chatting with us. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.